Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk for a couple minutes today about punches to the gut. Those visceral sensations we get. Some people call them punches to the gut or a knife to the heart or whatever the feeling is, that sensation in your body when you hear something or think of something or something comes up that just hurts, that feels bad, that makes you either remember something that felt bad or makes you think of something in the future that scares you or hurts just to think about it. And this came up yesterday when I was talking to a beautiful, lovely client of mine. And the call was going so well, and everything just seemed kind of light and somewhat easy. And she casually mentioned that she had taken her son to a lacrosse game. And everything was fine until it wasn't. And there was just something in hearing that she took her son to a lacrosse game that sort of, I kind of think of it as like it dislodged, it ladled up a little something, an old habitual belief, some old programming that was left over from years ago. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and like what felt like a lightning bolt, I felt like a punch to the gut. I felt this like sick punch, visceral response to hearing she had taken her son to a lacrosse game, which might sound so odd if you don't know my history in 2018 and 19 when I was really, really struggling with anxiety and depression and chronic health issues. And one of the things during that season was I missed a lot of my daughter's soccer games, among many other things that I missed. But one of the things that I really struggled with was the shame and the guilt of not showing up at my daughter's soccer games. She was a huge soccer player. It was her joy, her passion, her life. And there were times I just was too depressed, anxious, or just feeling too badly health-wise to get up and go. And I had a lot of shame and a lot of mom guilt around that. And I have done a lot of work over the years. And so it has not been as prominent or prevalent in my day-to-day life. But those things, those moments in our lives, I mean, really starting with childhood, honestly, that felt horrible, that felt like we had failed, we were bad, we were wrong, we were unsafe. Anything that we feel at such a visceral nervous system level for whatever reason, I think sometimes it takes a while for some of that residue to really come all the way out and work its way through. And apparently there was a little ladle still within me that was not completely processed and healed yet. And so when she casually mentioned going to a lacrosse game with her son, it allowed, thank goodness, it allowed that part of me that still was feeling shameful and guilty and wrong and bad to bubble up. And it happened like a lightning bolt, like in the blink of an eye, never saw it coming, never. And it came up and it just felt like such a punch in the gut. And I felt like tears in the backs of my eyes. I didn't cry, but I could feel the tears there. And what I want to just say today is that those punches to the gut are the knives to the heart, those feelings we have when we have a memory or we have a thought about something in the future where it looks like we were bad, wrong, unsafe, unworthy, not good enough, humiliated, embarrassed, any of those things. Those punch in the gut feelings, unlike what our culture has taught us our whole lives, are never confirming that we were bad, wrong, unworthy, incomplete. It's never confirming that. Those brilliant visceral sensations that our amazing bodies give us, the punches in the gut, the knives to the heart, they're trying to wake us up. They're a call to love. They're a call to say, oh my goodness, you're lost in confusion. You're identifying with a part of you that still feels shame and guilt and regret, and I should have done better, and I was wrong and bad. There's a part that still is asking for love. The punch to the gut, the knife to the heart, whatever your feeling is not a confirmation that something has gone wrong. It is a call to love, that there's a part of you that is still wanting to be held, to be picked up, to be revisited. So last night, when I had a few moments to myself, I came back down to my office. I went along with my day, finished my call, did everything that needed to be done. But I knew from that punch in the gut that there was a part of me, that 2018, 2019 Missy, that still felt some shame and guilt. And I was wrong. And I was a terrible mom. And she needed to be held and loved and reassured that everything was okay. So I took some time last night to go right to that punch in the gut feeling, to go right to that Missy, to go right to that part of me that was still waiting to be held, to be reassured. You were doing the best you could. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was out of order. Nothing could have been different. No matter what the mind says, no matter what the intellect, no matter what the logical brain, the attorney in your head, my head says, nothing went wrong. Everything was unfolding. It was trustworthy, and it was in service of my greatest evolution, my greatest expansion. So I just took a few minutes and I metaphorically held that 2018, 2019 Missy, the part of me that still felt unworthy, bad mom, got it wrong, bad everything. And I held her close and I offered her so much kindness and love. And it was really a beautiful, wonderful experience. And I'm seeing more and more this whole kindness and love kick that I've been on lately. It's actually quite practical. It's very pragmatic in day-to-day living when we can just see that the way we've been conditioned by our culture is so upside down and backward. And we have the opportunity now to turn things around and see that visceral reactions in the body, the punches to the gut, the knives in the heart, the things that our beautiful, perfect nervous system does in service of us to help wake us up, we can actually start going toward the nervous system now. Go right toward the part that hurts, because it's a call to love. It's a call for kindness. It's a call for understanding and seeing with clarity, something we just didn't see clearly before. And I'm going to end with this email I got today from a client of mine who had a huge insight yesterday around this. And this client has had a habit. I'm not going to go into what her habit is, but this habit has caused her so much turmoil and legal trouble and all these things that in the conventional world looks like it's the worst thing that could happen, this horrible habit. But in our work together, she has started seeing that behaviors that occur, behaviors that arise in the moment, are optimal for whatever is being believed and whatever is still needing to feel safe in that moment. And so yesterday, it occurred to her as she was contemplating this event she was going to last night, where her habit usually likes to rear itself. And so she sat down with herself and she considered that the part of her that does this habit is worthy of love. She's perfect. She's beautiful and wonderful. She is whole. She is complete. She's valuable. The part of her that she has rejected and has wanted to just go away and stop doing the habit, she brought that part of her close and offered her so much grace and love, exactly as she is, habit and all. And then she said when she went out last night, the most amazing thing happened. This physiological shift overcame her, and she felt the love and the joy and the lightness of embracing. And she came up with this nickname for this part of her that does the habit. She embraced her and held her and said, no matter what, habit or no habit, I love you. You are worthy. You are safe. And she said for the first time when she was out with this group of people in this environment where the habit usually kicks in, she had no desire. It wasn't a white knuckling. It wasn't a, I just don't want to, can't do it. There was no desire to do the habit. Instead, there was just a sense of joy and love and compassion for the part of her that does sometimes do this habit. And she was so grateful that she has seen that kindness and love and compassion and grace actually have very practical benefits in day-to-day living. So if you have a punch in the gut, a knife to the heart, any of those visceral sensations that come across as a, I'm bad, I'm wrong, I did it wrong, I got it wrong. Instead of using those visceral sensations as confirmation, what if you saw them as a call to love? Go right to the part of you that longs to be picked up, understood, seen with clarity for the first time, maybe in your whole life, held and loved. Let me know how this goes for you. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.